You're not here because you're waiting for someone to come back. You're here because a part of you can feel that something unfinished still exists. Even though your life has already moved forward, there's a quiet contradiction you live with now. You don't feel attached the way you once did, but you can still sense that someone from your past hasn't fully let you go. Not in action, not in words, just somewhere deep and unspoken. And today isn't about whether they return. It's about naming what's actually happening beneath the silence. Let's slow down for a moment. Let's arrive gently. This person doesn't remember you with urgency. They don't replay the past with desperation or longing. What they carry is softer and heavier in a different way. They remember you the way someone remembers a road they once walked fully. A road that was real, meaningful, but filled with turns that eventually left both people tired. In their mind, you're no longer the version of yourself who waited endlessly. You're no longer someone defined by emotional unpredictability or unconditional giving. They see you now as someone who has been disappointed enough to learn calm. And that calm, that steadiness you carry now, is exactly what creates distance. Because it tells them something without you ever saying a word. You no longer stand in a place of quiet self-sacrifice for something unclear. And this is where things quietly shift. If we're honest, they aren't fully okay. They function well. They think clearly. They appear composed. They're living more through logic than emotion, keeping themselves steady, controlled, rational. But inside, there's a long-standing inner conflict. A desire to move forward cleanly, paired with an inability to fully release what once mattered. Sometimes they question their own choices, and just as quickly, they push those thoughts away. Not because they don't care, but because touching those emotions still feels too sensitive. With this connection, they understand something very clearly. The bond hasn't completely disappeared, but it isn't whole anymore either. It's like a thin thread, strong enough to connect two memories, not strong enough to pull two people back to where they started. And deep down, they know this. Returning without real change would only recreate the same emotional loop. This is something most people don't notice at first. When they think about your current life, they don't see someone stuck in the past. They see you lighter, more self-contained, connected to new joys, less defined by what once was. That realization gives them peace. And at the same time, it quietly confirms that their place in your life has changed. You don't need them to feel whole anymore. And your wholeness becomes a boundary. Even though you never intended it to be, there is still a desire within them to reconnect. But it lives only in emotion, not in behavior. Logic steps in quickly. They're afraid of hurting you again. Afraid they can't offer what you now deserve. Afraid of the responsibility that would come with stepping backward. So instead of promises, they choose silence. And silence, for someone like this, isn't indifference. It's containment. They still remember you. The simple moments. The quiet laughter. The ease of being together without explanation. Sometimes they imagine a casual encounter, a brief greeting, a neutral smile. But they know, if eyes meet for too long, if memory activates, it won't stay simple. This is a person ruled by restraint, measured words, controlled presence. Someone who retreats the moment certainty disappears. And because of that, they remember deeply and regret quietly. They just don't allow themselves to say it. Here's the part that changes how you move forward. This message was never about whether you reunite. It's about what you learned. You learned how to stand inside your own emotions without collapsing into them. You learned how to stay present without abandoning yourself. And when that happens, the person who remains in your past doesn't look back to pull you in. They look back to recognize how much you've grown. That recognition carries respect and a quiet sadness and acceptance. Some connections don't end loudly. They end by transforming who you become. And when you're steady, when you're calm, when you're no longer waiting, the past doesn't chase you, it watches. And that is a sign of emotional maturity, not loss. So if you've been feeling strangely at peace lately, even with unanswered questions, trust that you didn't lose something. You outgrew the need to stay unfinished. Take a breath here. Let your body soften. Nothing needs to be resolved today. You're already standing where you need to be. If this message met you gently, you're welcome to stay with the channel, only if it feels supportive for you. And we'll end here. Quietly. Steady.